Hi, my name is Zoya Marchenko, and this is my experience with the Senior Capstone Project. For as long as I can remember, I have been making videos. It was one of my favorite hobbies as a kid. I would use either my little iPod Touch 4th generation or like this bulky camera that my parents had, and I would just film whatever. I tried making documentaries, I made music videos, I did skits. I was constantly filming. Once I got to sophomore year of high school, I slowed down. I didn't really make videos as much. Junior year is when I got back into making videos just for fun, just to see if I wanted to continue it as a hobby, if I still had a love for it, and I did. I decided to do my capstone project on videography and promotional videos because that's what I like doing, and that's what I want to do in the future when I go to college. For my capstone project, I decided to make 3 promotional videos for Chatham Bible Church. I made a overview video, a respite event video, and a welcome to Chatham video for the website. The first thing I did for my capstone project was I found a mentor, Larry Lorraine. I scheduled an interview for him. Larry does in-service videos for his church along with many other jobs, and he's a family friend, so I thought he'd be a good person to teach me and just to help me learn more. At our interview, we talked about different things like why he started and how he started, but also what I needed to know as a beginning video maker, like what gear I needed most and what software to use and how to use a camera. Larry was actually the one who recommended the camera that I ended up buying, and that was really helpful because he has a camera similar to it, so he was able to just teach me and help me learn. I decided to use iMovie and Premiere Pro. iMovie because I felt like I could do really well with editing on iMovie because I know it so well, and Premiere Pro because I want to learn it better and I want to get more acquainted with it. The first video I filmed was the respite event video. Respite is an event that goes on once every other month at Chatham Bible Church, and to sum it up, it's kind of like a big babysitting party. Those are my words, not the inclusion team's words. It's families with kids with special needs and their siblings. They can drop off the kids and the parents can go and just have a date night or have a night to themselves, and it's really beneficial. And growing up as a kid with sisters with special needs, I remember those nights so fondly, and I'm so happy that Chatham is doing them. Now, going into the respite video, I felt not underqualified, I just didn't feel like I was insanely ready. But I want the big message of my capstone project to be that you just have to get hands-on experience in this kind of stuff. You just have to go out and you have to film and you have to learn and you have to create. And so that's what I did. For the respite video, I used my camera, a gimbal, and that was it. And I just walked around filming whatever I could. At the event, I tried to capture just candid moments between kids and the volunteers and to just show how amazing of an experience it really is. And to show the kids having fun and learning about Jesus Christ. And that's what Respite's about. I really played with angles, but then I also tried to get used to my gimbal because I actually bought it like 2 hours beforehand. I had a few obstacles during the filming of this video and the pre-planning. I was only in touch with one of the head coordinators for the respite event for a while. So there was a bit miscommunication between me and the team I was working with. And it was hard because I wasn't working with the pastor as I was with the other videos. So there were some mistakes that I made along the way and some obstacles that I had to get over. The first one was that I wasn't in full communication with the entire inclusion team the whole time. I was really contacting with one person and they were contacting with the inclusion team at Chatham who runs the respite event. So there was some miscommunication about things. The biggest miscommunication and the biggest difference between my vision and the inclusion teams was that they wanted it to be more volunteer focused, whereas I wanted to just show the joy of the kids at the event. And I feel like I found a really nice way to kind of weave those together and make it one video. And I'm really proud of it, honestly. Another thing is that because the children that go to the event didn't go to the church, for legal reasons, we had to make video release waivers for the families to sign so that we could use the video and put it online. I talked with the office administrator at Chatham Bible Church, and she was able to make some up, and all the families ended up signing, which is super cool. Now, editing this video was probably the hardest, because I went into it not having planned it out shot by shot, because I just wanted it to be really candid, and I wish that I did plan it out shot by shot. I also didn't know what music I wanted to use. And the music is really important for videos because it tells the story of the kids and what's going on. Music is very important in videos. I ended up picking a song that I got off a website called Thematic, and Thematic is really cool because it's copyright-free music, and the only catch is that you have to put the link in the description of wherever you're putting it, which I think is really awesome and really cool. And that was pretty much it for the respite video. I just chopped up the clips and I put them where I wanted them, and then I showed it to the pastor, the office administrator, and the inclusion team, and everything worked out. The next video I did was the overview of Chatham. Now this video, I wanted to get the community and just really get the feel and the vibe for Chatham Bible Church. I focused a lot on the service and the music and the people. But I also wanted to get exterior shots because the church is very pretty, and some interior shots. I took 2 Sundays out of the month and I filmed for pretty much the entire Sunday. The first one, I did a lot of the kids ministries and the service. And the second one, I did a lot more Sunday school exterior and then also some of the service. But the first Sunday, I really got what I needed for the service and the music. Editing it wasn't too hard, because going into the video, I already knew what song I wanted to use. Chatham's old worship leader wrote a song, I think a couple years ago, and it's called Let Your Glory Shine. And it's about going and spreading God's glory to everyone, and Chatham is about creating disciples and teaching. And I felt like it was just a very good connection, and it really shows what Chatham was about. And the worship leader wrote it while he was at Chatham. So I emailed Ben Rico, and he actually had a demo already made that he's letting me use, and he was super nice about it, and I can't wait to show him the video. The next thing I do in editing is I chop up the clips and I do a rough cut, kind of put them where I want them, see how it is. Then I edit with the music, and then I do a final cut, which is adding text and filters or color grading or whatever I need to do. And then I showed it to Pastor Sergey and the office administrator. They had a few suggestions here and there, but not a ton, which was really helpful for me because I felt like I did really well on the project. Because the only things that they had, I think, was like a grammar error. And I think that's it. And I think there might have been one other suggestion of just getting a different angle, which I already had filmed. Overall, that video turned out really well, and I think I'm most proud of that one because I really got to see my vision come to life. The last video that I did was the Welcome to Chatham video for the website. Now, this video is a lot different than the other videos that I made because it wasn't a montage sequence. The plan was to just have it be one take and done. So it wasn't gonna involve a lot of editing. I also really wanted to focus on lighting and sound for this because I had more room as opposed to the other ones where I wasn't recording sound and I wasn't really focusing as much on lighting, which I wish I did. But that's just something that I can remember for the future, is to really pay attention to lighting, and that's something that Larry mentioned to me too. We filmed this in the foyer of Chatham Bible Church, and it's actually a really well lit room with natural light, and it's very gorgeous in there. And so I had Pastor Sergey stand right in front of the doors, and I got the logo, and it looked beautiful, honestly. I'm very proud of how it looks. For the audio, I don't have like a lav mic, and a lav mic is the one that like you'll wear here and you'll like attach to like your clothes, and it's more free moving and it's not connected. I have a shotgun mic that's kind of cheap that I'm using right now, so if the audio is a little weird, that's why. Instead, I asked my dad if I could use his podcast mic. So I used the mic and I plugged it into my computer, and my computer has the software already in it called GarageBand, and I just recorded the audio, and then in editing I synced the audio with the video, and then it was done. The problem with editing was I used Premiere Pro just to get more acquainted with it, and I felt like I could do more because I can sync audio on there and I can't on iMovie. But for this video, it was supposed to be one take, but the good take that we got, the one where Pastor Sergey didn't mess up at all, well, there was this giant glare in it. So I ended up having to have one cut. It's not super noticeable, you can't notice it. So I had to use 2 different audio tracks and 2 different clips, but it ended up working out really well. And then I just added the text and I showed it to the office administrator and Pastor Sergey and sent it off to them. With all these videos, they're available to go onto the website or Facebook or Realm, whatever the church wants. We didn't really have a set place to put them. Okay, now I want to talk about my gear. Tripods. I have a GorillaPod that came with my camera in the kit, and I have a bigger tripod. I just got them both off of Amazon. The next thing I want to talk about is my camera bag. Larry Lorraine actually gave me this and it's just a simple camera bag and you can just fit a good amount of gear in it. I don't have a lot to fit in it yet, but I'm very thankful to have it. The biggest piece of gear and most expensive, other than my camera obviously, is my gimbal. Now a gimbal is a stabilizer. It gives you those smooth shots as opposed to like a tripod where it's just standing there. You can move around with the gimbal and they're so helpful, and I used it 2 out of the 3 videos. Now, the microphone that I used was my dad's podcast mic. It works really well. Then I have a mic, my shotgun mic. It does the job. It's not great, but it works for now. The last thing, and I'd say the most important thing, is the camera. I use the Sony a6100 and it works very well, and it's small and it's easy to use and I really love it. I just want to end with saying I'm so glad that I got this experience, and I feel so much better about going into college, into this profession, knowing the things that I know and having the experience that I do. This capstone, I really learned that you just have to do it. You just have to create. You can learn as much as you can sitting down, but you have to go out and you have to work and you have to learn and practice and just continue to create. And I think that's the most valuable thing that I've learned.